Within minutes, we captured images like this, a school bus crossing a double yellow to drive the wrong way in the opposite lane. What do you get when you let out more than 800 kids? 7. At the same time, along a loop that has one way in and one way out. How's traffic?
It's pretty bad.
Parents and even those driving near Columbus Preparatory Academy tell me a dismissal disaster.
Somebody could lose their life.
Because of a school dismissal.
Exactly. It's uncalled for. I can't believe this is happening.
We talked to Charles Davis, who got stuck in the daily North Hague Road traffic jam that suffers the overflow from Chippewa Street. Chippewa dead ends into Columbus Prep.
What have you seen?
I've seen cars pulling out in front of other cars down here in a close call, so that could be a reason why some of these accidents are happening down this road.
ABC 6 On Your Side problem solvers captured this video as we waited in the school traffic along Hague. You can see car after car crossing the double yellow lines of Hague Avenue. A construction truck crossed too, even a school bus. We found this Dublin City Schools bus cross over into the opposite lane, driving more than 1/10 of a mile to get to Columbus Prep. Moments before, industrial trucks were driving down the street. And this is the second time we captured these violations on camera within a week. 2 days earlier, we caught multiple school buses driving the wrong way down Hague to get to the academy.
Some dangerous situations out here.
Right. They're trying to get the school buses in there first.
So we sent these photos to Dublin City Schools administrators. They sent me an email stating they'd be discussing this issue with their driver and Columbus Preparatory Academy.
The school's been here for many years. Never seen traffic jam like this.
We also called Columbus Prep about this problem when parents told us about the constant chaos. One recording this pickup with a camera inside the car while in line.
If you're smelling exhaust fumes from cars, then that's bad.
And they called this an improvement from waiting up to 90 minutes as their kids stood in the extreme heat or rain.
How long have the kids been waiting out there?
Oh, sometimes like a good hour or two.
Columbus Prep did not grant us an on-camera interview. However, they did send parents notification multiple times last week, instructing them not to line up to pick up their kids before 2:40 p.m. And any parent found blocking a public street could be ticketed. In an email to us, the school's board of directors indicated the number of parents picking up their kids here has jumped by 200% this year due to attempts to social distance. They're now working with Columbus Police and Franklin County engineers to assist with traffic flow.
Are you worried if you have an emergency at all?
Oh, that's a tough situation, yeah.
And even though other parents handing us notes while they're waiting in line to say they understand, drivers say apparently more needs to be done.
You know, we got things to do and we have places to go, and it seems like a really big waste of time to sit out here in the middle of the road waiting to pick your child up.
If not, they worry this inconvenience could have deadly consequences.
Is this acceptable to you?
No.
Not even an hour's drive east of Columbus.
We're actually starting to get beaver back into our creeks. We're starting to get mink back into our creeks.
The sound of the surroundings change in the rolling hills of Perry County.
People have also said it's the wild, wild west.
It is.
Not a lot of zoning restrictions, not a lot of government restrictions out here. And that's how people liked it.
People love it because no one wants to be told how to live.
Now, neighbors lured by the peaceful, rural, untouched landscape are becoming enraged.
And know that we are going to be safe.
They want construction stopped off Croft Road in Madison Township, now creating a 20.6 million gallon lagoon for Class B biosolids that contain human waste.
If I have to strap my body to that pond, I will, because this is ridiculous.
Mom Jen Lynn just moved to Perry County from Columbus this summer. She testified before the Ohio EPA last month in front of hundreds of her neighbors. demanding they deny the permit for biosolid usage.
The problem is how about we come up with other ideas on how we can displace this waste instead of dumping it in farm countries and telling the farmers that it's healthy for them.
According to the permit, Quasar Energy Group will operate the lagoon to reduce pathogens in the sewage sludge, food waste, and manure that make up biosolids to create a fertilizer for crops. Crews are lining the pond with 2 feet of gray clay that neighbors say
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
won't seal and won't stop leakage into nearby aquifers and wells.
That is the end of the pump.
If you have contaminated water in here, do you want to drink it?
Heck no. It'll make everybody sick in that home. Even if you bathe with it. Over a period of time, it will make you ill.
Bill Wilson is now monitoring this well sitting feet from Jeff Croft Farms.
You can hear the water?
They look for changes in the water, claiming placement of the new lagoon leaves little room for error.
And does that mean it's easy to contaminate?
Very easy.
Wilson knows Ohio EPA would require the lagoon to have its own wells on site to monitor groundwater for contamination. But samples will be taken by lagoon operators and not the EPA.
We operate in a way that people have to be honest about their reporting. That's an important part of it.
Neighbors are feeling that doesn't give it enough regulation because, again, this is their drinking water.
Currently, Ohio has 4 storage lagoons containing Class B biosolids sitting in Greene, Paulding, Wayne, and Morrow counties. If approved, the Perry County pond would be the 5th. David Emerson heads the Surface Water Division for the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency.
We have issued notice of violations to Quasar in the past.
And since Quasar would be operating the Perry County Lagoon, we checked its records. In 2016, then Attorney General Mike DeWine filed suit against its biosolids lagoon in Wayne County, citing over 250 citizen complaints of foul-smelling odors. While DeWine demanded thousands of dollars a day in fines, the case was dismissed at the request of the Ohio EPA. This year, violations with Ohio EPA include odor and improper unloading of biosolids in one pond, taking unauthorized biosolids at a second site, and an unauthorized discharge at its location in Lorain County.
Our goal is to work with the local residents and facilities to get those facilities operating back in compliance.
But Township Trustee Sean Glenn has his doubts.
I feel that because we are a rural area, that they think that they can come in. We do not have a lot of money, and they're going to tell us this is what's going to be in your area.
He provided one of the more than 100 comments to the Ohio EPA for feedback on the new Mount Perry nutrient storage facility.
And then you have all the fancy words covering what these things really are. It's not a nutrient storage facility. It's a dump.
Even the 3 Perry County commissioners signed off on this letter, telling Ohio EPA they also oppose the approval of the permit request, stating the lagoon poses potential hazards to the groundwater aquifers.
I spoke with Jeff Croft, the owner of Croft Farms LLC, by phone. He did not want to go on camera. He says he has been using biosolids on his crops for decades and has even stored them on his property. And he says point blank, his neighbors are going to have to get used to this process, saying it's going to come down to either eating or smelling a bad odor.
And even though Ohio EPA extended its public comment phase by a week for this particular permit application,
Having to fight something as ridiculous as this that shouldn't even be here.
the agency calls these ponds extremely beneficial for keeping the biosolids out of landfills.
We have not denied any in the last 5 years.
And if this permit does go through, Glenn says this town, while pretty, is too poor to appeal and fight for a court-ordered injunction.
We feel that we are becoming the dumping ground of the state
Here in Perry.
here in Perry County.
I asked the city attorney if he is doing enough to curb this crime.
We got medics on the way, okay?
A 7-year-old shot in the arm, a bullet grazes a 4-year-old's legs.
Did you see who shot him?
Both were riding their bikes last month in front of their apartment at South Park Preservation Limited Partnership Properties.
Somebody just drove by and did a drive-by.
Across town, 3 gunmen target a mother in her SUV and shoot 23 times in May. It was feet from Colonial Village Apartments. And the link between these 2 egregious crimes, they happened on or near properties that the city of Columbus has declared a problem.
They know the conditions of this place. I can't even get out of here. I've never lived anywhere like this in my life, and I want out.
Her cries,
I'm sorry,
came into ABC6 On Your Side this month.
Comply.
Oh, why?
She wants us to tell her story, but not use her name.
I cannot even let my grandkids go get my mail. They shoot non-stop out here.
This grandmother moved into Colonial Village Apartments on East Livingston Avenue less than 2 years ago. We saw flies gather, trash spread across parking lots, and unrepaired damage in her home.
Mayor Ginther, you worried about crime? There's so much crime here. Let's start here.
And now court records show the city has been tracking Colonial Village since 2018. That's when it was on code enforcement's top 20 worst landlords list. It ranked 7th worst in 2019. The city attorney filed this complaint against Colonial Village owners, staff, and several tenants 3 years later, in April of this year, which could shut the place down. It states over the course of 4 days, code enforcement issued more than 400 notice violations for issues like bugs, rodents, water damage, fire damage, broken windows, rotted door frames, and trash. As for the violence,
But in that time, there were 18 shootings, 5 homicides, 145 gun runs. Should it have taken that long?
It's my understanding that the Colonial Village has changed hands.
City Attorney Zach Klein says his nuisance case against Colonial Village is just one of 24 cases filed against problem city properties for the first 4 months of 2021. And the number of cases he's filing hits records each year.
I would never want to raise my family next to one of these places, nor would I want to raise my family in one of these places.
But we also found 3 times as many properties have remained open due to agreements of compliance from the year 2019 to 2020.
We always try to work with a landowner to fix their property.
One property that remained open was South Park Preservation Limited Partnership Properties along Canonby Place and Greenfield Drive.
It's not safe at all out here. For the kids, for no one.
Georgette Hawkins called ABC6 On Your Side last month.
Can y'all please help us? Can someone please help us shut this place down? We need to move out.
She lives at South Park Preservation Properties and does not keep furniture in her living room.
Bugs and everything.
Due to all the bugs. We saw multiple windows shot out, not boarded up, and we could not get through to management.
That is on our radar screen. We are very well aware of it.
In their city agreement last January, owners of South Park Preservation stated they would use their best efforts to maintain this premises. A year later, this is where police say a 16-year-old drove by and fired a series of gunshots, hitting 2 children.
Was it on your radar, and were you following up prior to those children being shot?
Well, that's like every property that we've had dealings with remains on our radar.
The city has yet to file a new case against them.
I wish they were quicker. I really do. But we have to. We live in a country where we protect property rights, where the government just doesn't come in and take or seize your property.
And now, with 3 years of evidence in building a case against Colonial Village Apartments, Klein said it was time to move forward. He said a major factor he did have to consider is where the hundreds of remaining tenants would go if a nuisance case causes Colonial Village to close.
There are so many people that live there. We have to be cognizant of, like, if we shut a place like that down, we're displacing thousands of people. That's also not good.
This grandmother says that's no factor for her.
And what do you mean? where are we going to live? We're not living now. I'm terrified.